That's it.
Synced. I think we probably should do an intro because we've been doing silly intros for the last.
What's
few
up,
episodes.
gamers? Like
We've been doing unofficial starts for the last 2 episodes. I think
That's
we can
fair.
Start with a. What do you think?
yeah, let's do it. All right, how
Let's
do you want
start.
to?
Okay. But also it feels natural when we start like this.
It does. So let's do this,
Let's just talk.
and then
We'll just talk, and then it'll start.
oh god,
and it'll start like this.
I'm so sorry.
It starts. This is where it begins.
This is the beginning of the podcast. Hello and welcome. I didn't see you come in.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gathering why
I'm
we've
sure
wondered
you
you here
gathered
today.
why I've wondered you here.
So, anyways, this week.
This week in Airsoft.
This week, I'm just gonna get into it. This week, I ordered. Last night, I ordered the Lancer Tactical USA Kalashnikov licensed
Very exciting.
AG. I got the long boy with the folding stock. I didn't get the skeletal frame because it's just not my cup of tea.
Oh yeah. So the skeletal stock, I like that look more on the
cheeky breekies.
What does that look? Are you okay?
I had
Oh, okay.
something going on with my
You just
eyes.
freaked me out for a second. We're good though. We're still good. That's not us. We didn't come up with that. That's Rhett and Link. They have actually like a game about that. Oh, dude, you have like a really nice, you have really pretty eyes, dude. I didn't know what you were
They're
talking
burning
about.
so bad. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
gosh.
can tell.
And that's the thumbnail. Anyway, so I ordered the AK. We're gonna find out if it's good.
I hope it's good.
Actually,
Kalashnikov licensed it.
we've got a handful of reviews coming
We
up.
do. So we've got this Kalashnikov licensed AK. We've got the Zion Arms gun that we've been talking about for a little bit. We are technically sponsored in a way
By who?
by the man himself.
Oh,
He's lending us.
Benny S.
Yeah, Benny S, dude. He's lending us the
famous CS:GO
so
player.
it's a friend of ours who went to play with us last time we went in February.
A whim.
On a whim, yeah, like a couple days before we were going, he just reached out to us.
Two.
But he went and played and had a great time, and he's really getting into it. So
We got
talked
him.
to us about what to buy, and of course we recommended the Zion Arms.
We had a bunch of stuff.
We did. We recommended a few things, but just kind of approached it from that. Hey, like you can spend a little bit more money, get this gun, and it's gonna come pre-upgraded with all this cool stuff that you're gonna do to your gun anyway.
So we'll
And,
find
yeah.
out with that review if it is as good as it says it is online. The specs don't. Hopefully the specs don't lie.
Hopefully they don't lie, just like Shakira's hips.
And we have some surprise reviews that we don't even know
that we
about.
don't know. Yeah.
We've got some mystery stuff coming
Also
in,
sponsored
so-
by Mr. Benny S.
Yeah. So
He's our single greatest benefactor right now.
Yes. As well as potentially if some of our other friends who are looking at, I sent Walter and Trey just an extensive list of stuff. I sent them because I don't know where they're going to fall on price range. So I was like, listen, dude, I've got right here anything from like what you need to get by to this is going to be top of the line stuff. So we'll see what they come up with if they buy into it. Walter was telling me he works on Saturdays. And so he can't go. And I was like, well, dude, I'm sure that you could take one Saturday off a month, right? Like you could move your schedule once a month.
Swap with somebody.
Yeah, right?
Listen, that Saturday shift is a nice shift.
Yeah.
Swap with somebody.
So
It's a
we'll see what
desired
happens
shift.
with that. What about you? What have you been doing this week? You got a Riley hair stuck to your...
nice, dude. I
She's
love
not
it.
even here.
She's not even here, but she is
shedding
here.
everywhere.
Yeah. She's
I
shedding in
vacuumed
spirit
today too, just to like get all the extra
It
hair.
looks
up.
good in here, you know?
As good as it can look.
My tea's all the way over there.
Grab it, dude.
No, man, it's too late. I don't need it. Listen, if I drink that tea, I'm gonna have to pee in the middle of this episode. So.
I got my vitamin water, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. I have Peace Tea over there, also not a sponsor, but I'd love it. You know? So I What have I been doing? So I just got a lot going on, like outside of Airsoft, just working and moving apartments and trying to deal with the government on various items.
I'm trying to see if it's doing. Last week it did that weird autofocus thing.
Yeah. We got this camera's gotta. You gotta get
If
it together.
yeah, sorry about last week. If it's doing it again, I'll take a look at the footage after this. 2 weeks in a row, I'll have to change it to manual. But the autofocus usually works really good, and we shift around a bit, so I like
Maybe.
it.
Yeah.
But I can change it to manual if we have to, and we'll just set it, and then we'll
I
just
think we
do the
just need to.
podcast like this.
Hello. Welcome to
You
Airsoft Corner.
you ordered some stuff.
I did. I ordered some stuff. So what did I order? I ordered some ammo. So I ordered we've been looking at this new ammo
Yeah.
because we're always on the hunt for affordable, alternatives to like the big name stuff. So, but that
Right.
still is good. And we found a brand, Aim Green
Yeah.
is the name of the brand. And you ran those BBs last week, right?
I've been
Or
running
not
them for
last
the
week.
last two months.
Have you?
2 or 3 sessions now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you? I mean, we'll do like a whole thing
We'll do
on it.
a
I'm
review
sure,
on
but
them in the future. They seem appealing to me. I don't know if they necessarily come out to be cheaper than Elite Force in the end because they come with a little less ammo.
right, yeah.
Rather than 2,700, it's 2,500.
But it's like $3 or $4 cheaper.
Yeah, it just depends, man, on
Yeah.
what type you buy. But they seem appealing to me because they're a smaller company. Their quality really isn't bad so far. I mean, we can do a full review on it.
Yeah.
But so far, I'm pretty happy with
Seems
the
pretty good.
results.
But yeah, so I ordered a couple bottles of that. I went with 2 because the last session, I just ordered 1 bottle of the Elite Force 32s
It's crazy.
or .32s. I shouldn't have done that. Definitely needed more.
32
I know how
BBs.
much I shoot in a game. I go through 3 mags easy. 3 like mid caps.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah,
I mean,
man.
I'm definitely shooting more than I used to, but that's so much.
I can only imagine if it was like real steel. You know what I'm saying? I'd be blowing. Hey,
Yeah.
I watch like interviews with Vietnam vets and stuff talking about like John Stryker or whatever. He was on Jocko Willnick's podcast not too long ago. And he was like, yeah, man, we'd carry like 600 rounds of ammo into every mission. And he'd be like, and we wanted more.
Oh, dude.
Like, you gotta think about
when you can't see the enemy
and you're using
you
20
want ammo.
round mags. 20 round mags, dude. I could not imagine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can
I'm so
I can
glad
picture it in my mind
yeah.
a little bit.
Just I'm glad I don't have to do that.
Dude, trying to sneak through the jungle. That'd be rough.
That would be rough.
You got some mags too, though.
I got mags. I got 3 more of those AK mid caps.
Did you buy the bake lights or something different?
No, I bought the same ones, the Lancer tactical ones. They're just the cheapest ones.
Mags are so expensive to me.
They are.
$15. Okay, if you make big boy adult money,
I'm trying.
you can
I'm getting
do it,
there.
right?
Yeah.
But like, not on my budget.
Yeah.
On my budget, it's bro. We got 2 of these things, and we gonna make them last.
So I definitely want to invest in nicer mid caps at some point. I want to get like metal mid caps, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of want those Bakelite ones though.
The Bakelite ones are nice.
Can you imagine in that long boy? It's all black with just one like Bakelite like accent.
Yeah,
I like the idea of that.
Yep. So I got that, and then I just got some stuff for a Real Steel rig as well. I got an admin pouch.
Ooh.
That I'm gonna look at and see, and I may end up picking one up for my airsoft rig too, because it's like an admin pouch on the front, and then it's 3 mag pouches behind it, so it
looks pretty low profile.
Yeah, it should be all right. We'll see how it does. I just need like pouches and stuff on my gear to like put tools. Well, yeah. So
yeah, I like this. That's similar to what I have. Mine's kind of divided up into 2. Separate pouches, and then I got my pistol mag pouches, which I ran this for my airsoft day last time we went.
brave.
This lost a mag, this right side.
Oh, really?
So I was kind of sad about that, but I seem to lose a mag every time we go. A pistol mag, specifically. I've lost 2 pistol mags since we've started playing again.
Wow.
Almost every time. So I think I'm just going to start not doing that.
Maybe it is better. I wonder if it might just be better to invest in like these kind of mag pouches or like ones that fully
Velcro
cover in
ones.
Velcro, yeah. Because that does seem to be a thing. I'm losing mags and stuff too.
I'm not losing anything out of this. I mean, my M4 mag pouches are solid.
Yeah.
Love them. I run something similar to this without these, and I don't even lose them. So I don't know. Something about the pistol mags. They just, maybe because they're heavier, they like to out,
Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Things to consider when you're buying your kit.
Indeed. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I've got going on. We're going to play again, not this weekend, but next weekend, right?
Yeah, next 2 weeks, not this weekend.
So
next
another
weekend and the weekend after.
Yeah, another double back-to-back
As a
weekends.
treat. As a little treat.
That's a little treat.
As a St. Patrick's Day treat.
Yeah,
It's my best Irish accent.
I'm not
It's
gonna try it.
terrible.
Not
Should I
gonna
tell the
try it.
joke that I got you
Yeah,
with?
send it. Let's
So
see it.
so Isaac, why are there only 238 beans in Irish stew?
I don't know, Corbin. Why are there only 238 beans in Irish stew?
'Cause 2 more and it'd be too hearty.
It hurts really
It's
bad.
good, right? It's
it
good.
hurts. It
It
genuinely
hurts me
hurts.
too. It hurts me to do the voice. It's like the Sidgets Ridgets from that deep cut video. The
That
Halloween
no one here has
that
seen.
no one is gonna
No
know.
one here has seen it.
It's some of these characters, man. They
We'll bring
take a
'em
part
back.
of you.
We'll bring it back.
Yeah, maybe he'll pop up.
Onward, I guess.
Onward, yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah. Do you want to open this? You open this.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about like so how airsoft translates kind of to real world application, like in a way of like obviously there's not the same recoil, or you're not getting a lot of the same like it doesn't always work the same. Like you don't really need to chamber rounds and work your bolt catches and everything, but
Right.
like are there aspects of airsoft that you can use as within reason as training for real steel stuff? And the reason we want to talk about this is, one, because we were just thinking about SHOT Show and how like there's so much airsoft that happens at SHOT Show, which is a real steel police and military kind of event where they go and these companies are basically like, this is our new product, trying to get government funded, like trying to get government projects basically.
Right.
And so it's like, but there's airsoft there, and the airsoft that's there
quite a bit
is gas blowback. It's, very like it's all licensed stuff from real gun manufacturers
for
training police and military. So we were just thinking about that and thought it was really interesting, that aspect, and we just wanted to talk about some of our experience with that, some things that we've noticed, maybe some just different facts and whatnot, and just talking about that. That's what we wanted to do. So,
and I would say, at least in my intention of this, when I brought up this topic, my intention was mostly focused on a kind of self-defense side of things, like not really like military training, maybe police training, but really more so self-defense for just civilians who are firearm enthusiasts or just interested in what that looks like to train with alternatives to real steel stuff. I think there's a lot to be gained from airsoft technology. but there's also it's not going to be the same, you know. And
Right.
I think we just wanted to kind of break apart
Yeah.
what like don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Like, what can you get out of this?
Chew the meat, spit out the bones, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah,
Like-
there's
like,
definitely pros and cons, and there's training scars that can happen, but understanding that and kind of compensating for that with range range days, drills, and stuff like that.
And
You know,
I don't know if you guys have seen Garand Thumb's review on. He went to a milsim.
didn't he go to Milsim West or something?
Yeah, and he kind of made a video talking about that. We'll link to that.
Yeah, there's probably gonna be a bunch of
Garand Thumb
videos
is
we'll link
a
to.
pew specialist, real steel.
A real pew, big
Yeah,
pew.
big pew specialist.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna approach it more from a military standpoint. We're both like, we're not military,
No.
we're not police, we're just some dudes who enjoy the stuff. I have some very unofficial like training, like I haven't been to like training courses that are organized, but I've done a lot of real steel shooting,
Like
with
drills and whatnot.
drills,
with active duty rangers and whatnot.
things like that. Again, just some guy who enjoys it and has fun. So
I just played Airsoft a lot.
Yeah, and we want to
and,
get more
you
into
know,
that stuff,
I
but
I do my research
this,
as well.
this episode will have a lot of links in the
Yes,
description.
indeed.
You guys should go down there and peruse. We'll also, I don't know how many cards we're allowed to add per video, but I'll throw some cards up into this side, this over somewhere, as we bring them up.
Sorry,
I
was looking for the cards.
They're somewhere around here. I don't
Yeah, I
know
don't
where I
know,
put
man.
them. But we'll link to all that stuff.
No.
So if you see that pop up, don't be alarmed.
Don't be alarmed, but do let us know if you see it,
If you
because
find
we've
'em.
been looking for them.
But we'll kind of kick it off. We're going to cover.
Dude, that one kind of looks. Look at that.
I mean, you're getting close.
But what did I say? Right. Sorry.
There's too many airsoft blasters out there.
Blasters.
There's too many airsoft blasters out there for us to go through and name every single one.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring you a list of licenses.
And a mouche bouche, if you will.
Yeah, and we'll have some of these linked. Again, we've got a full page here just of licensed products.
Yeah.
There's unlicensed stuff out there from very reliable companies.
Yeah.
That just doesn't have the stamps on it. So, like, I think Glock on its own has 20 or something licensed blasters.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Yeah,
it's a lot.
There's a few. Yeah. there's
So
a lot.
we'll go through this. You just want to read these off, like just. I don't feel like we really need to talk about each.
Yeah.
Of them.
I mean, honestly, so the big ones that you're gonna find, EMG. There's mostly like 3 or 4 companies that are really partnering with people.
Yeah.
EMG is the biggest one. They're partnered with Daniel Defense, Falcor Defense, Noveski. They're partnered with who else?
F1 Firearms.
F1. There's just a ton. Those are gonna be a lot of those are it's mostly M4s. So they kind of have the market on that. If you're looking for something AK in that AK direction, Lancer Tactical just got a license deal with Kalashnikov.
Right.
And
And Kalashnikov also releases their own. So
that one that you
Right,
use
was
is Kalashnikov
Kalashnikov. So-
license, but it just like is a random airsoft gun on Amazon that
yeah.
slaps.
So one thing you have to consider with this is there are real steel companies and there are airsoft companies, and there are some times where companies will release their own airsoft tech who do real steel. So when we say like EMG Daniel Defense, that means that Daniel Defense has come to EMG and they are releasing a joint product.
Yeah.
It's a partnership. So most of these are partnerships. But you can also find sometimes companies make their own things.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll read through some of these other ones. Is that all you had to say? Was just?
I mean, mostly that. I mean, Umarex. I mean, we can just kind of go through it. Like Umarex has the Glocks.
Umarex has many Glocks.
Many Glocks. They also have. Don't they have the Beretta? Well, Elite Force has
Elite
the
Force has
Beretta and
Beretta.
H&K, but I think Elite Force and Umarex are kind of the same.
I don't know.
They're partnered or something. Umarex also has a Smith and Wesson licensing, so if you
They've
run
got-
revolvers, they've got a few.
We've got a few of those.
A few of those. I think we saw like a snub nose 357.
I wanted to bring this up. I forgot to tell you this. For those of you who are new to Airsoft, and this sounds like a bunch of blah, blah, blah to you, there's a difference between Airsoft and air guns. Air guns are meant
yes.
for hunting small game,
Oh,
like squirrels.
Yeah. I did not even think about
Do
this
not
either.
buy that to go to an airsoft field. Airsoft guns fire plastic BBs,
Yeah.
6mm BBs. They're
Now-
plastic. It's very different.
Air guns were used for airsoft back in the olden days, but
We
we
don't
have
do
since
that.
learned that you don't really need because it shoots a metal
can I say-
projectile.
You will shoot your eye out.
You actually will. I mean, it's scientifically proven. You will actually shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
So
So there's
yes, there's a difference.
there
Pay
are-
attention.
there's Glock licenses, Beretta, H&K. There's Magpul, A&K Magpul.
Yep.
Crytek has some Silencer Co.
So, Crytek just dropped the Silencer Co. What is it? The H? No, I don't remember what the name of
The integrally suppressed.
We did determine it was integrally. Yeah.
Elite Force has Walther.
They also have the Walther. They have an H&K, Beretta.
ASG.
ASG has there's a few CZ license stuff out there from like different, isn't there? I don't know.
ASG is the only one I saw.
ASG has
wrong,
ASG has they do the Scorpion, that's their like main one, but I think there is a
They
few.
have pistols.
There's pistols, yeah. CZ, the Swamp Sniper has one that he likes.
Yeah. We covered this.
yep,
We
covered the
this. We
EMG
really
stuff.
just have. That's the last one.
Yeah, Red Wolf has that dope Nighthawk 1911,
Which is allegedly interchangeable with some high kappa parts.
yeah. So I think if I'm not mistaken, it's based off of a high kappa, the 5.1. If I'm not mistaken, 5.1. But they in the SHOT Show video that we watched, for that first podcast, was that their first podcast?
That was the first episode. Yeah.
For that video that we watched, I think they said that it was you could take the slide and put it on any 5.1,
I think that's what it was.
any high kappa, yeah.
They also have some grips and stuff that are interchangeable. The Glock stuff, a lot of those have back straps that you can swap out. Very customizable.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of leads us into our next section, which is now that we've kind of covered, hey, you can probably find anything you own real steel, you can probably replicate in Airsoft. It's
Yeah.
very doable.
Yeah. Even
So-
if it's not something that's licensed, there's probably something that's
something, yeah.
very close.
There's so much
Yeah.
to pick from.
an M4 is an M4, honestly. If you've shot one, you've shot any
All
of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Expenses. So this is where we kind of get into some of the realism. Gas blowback rifles or GBBRs are going to be more expensive. You're
Yeah.
probably going to have to drop about $500 for a really nice one, and that's just on the gun. That's not on
Yeah.
the tank, the hose, the backpack, the attachments. You can get budget options like Double Eagle made a Noveski licensed GBBR it was a 300 blackout for something.
It was like 350, 360, something like that.
But those gas blowback ones, which are going to simulate the recoil somewhat, you're not going to get the same effect as necessarily like real steel, but
Yeah.
it kicks. You're
There's a
gonna
little
get-
bit of recoil.
You're going to get that, and
The sudden shock of the gun moving when you pull the trigger
is
is
and
gonna-
it's fun.
yeah.
It's fun, but that's one way you can get into that. There are lots of YouTube channels online that use airsoft gas blowback rifles for training purposes.
Yeah, you sent me a video the other day of a YouTube channel that does
Police stuff.
yeah, so they hold events where people come and basically swap positions with police officers where police officers are acting as like active shooters or acting as like civilians who are like armed and like they're doing a traffic stop where the person being stopped pulls a gun or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's a cop, and then the officer responding is a civilian who's like kitted out and everything, and they have to figure out,
I think,
with very little training, what to do in this situation. And
I think Donut Operator was featured.
Donut Operator was there. He's got a
specific video I sent
you. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was very cool. It was really interesting to see, just that in general, like that exercise. I hadn't really seen that done.
I can't remember what this stands
and
for.
I think the point of that was mostly to kind of like show and bridge the gap between civilians and police officers and whatnot, but just the idea of like that, like creating that scenario of I have to go into this house, there's people that are dying. Right. Like I may not be a police officer, but I'm here, I'm responding.
And
like,
that's kind of the same thing, like Good Samaritan type stuff. Like this is what we're getting into, where it's like self-defense. You're being forced into a situation, right? Where you may have to use a firearm. And so the more you train with that, I'm personally a big fan of owning firearms. However, I think you have no business owning one if you are not capable of using it.
Yeah.
I don't think you should have one if you don't know what you're doing. So if you own a firearm or are interested, this episode is for you. Like, this is a good, especially if you've never shot real steel before, this is a great way to kind of ease your way into it. And I know some people may say that's not true. There's people out there that are on the internet that are real steel specialists, like, Airsoft, it doesn't. Coming from someone who has done a bit of both, it is a good way to start learning. There are some things, again, that aren't going to be the same.
Training scars can happen,
Yes.
But just the ability to, in a very safe, or in at least a safer manner, practice handling a gun.
Yes.
For, like, if you haven't ever before, holding a gun, taking the magazine out, putting it in, racking the slide, and then aiming, pulling the trigger, and having the gun respond.
Yeah, and if you misfire and shoot your friend in the knee,
you don't shoot your friend's knee off.
You don't cripple them for life.
Yeah.
So that's
a positive.
A win.
And then when you feel confident using that, you can say, okay, I'll shoot real steel.
Right.
Here.
Anyways, so the gas blowback rifles, or the GBBRs, are going to be more on the expensive side, but they're also going to offer a lot more. You're going to get a lot more out of that for training purposes. They're just going to be expensive and hard to work on.
Yeah.
So you got to be ready for that.
And manage your expectations if you plan on running that for a day of play.
Day. The other option that you have, in gas blowback, most pistols are going to be gas blowback pistols.
For the most part.
They are actually, the pistols for some reason are always more affordable and more reliable. I don't know if it just has to do with the technology, but something about the pistols.
I think it's just like smaller.
It's like standard almost to have a gas blowback pistol. That's like the standard.
Yeah.
Whereas with rifles, it's you're schmancy if you have one.
Unless you're getting a spring pistol or something, which
don't.
You can, but like
the other option is an automatic electric gun, AEG. Those are going to be your battery powered blasters.
Something to note that we didn't write down, they do also make electric blowback rifles.
Do they?
They do. They make electric blowback rifles.
I did not know that.
There's an AK that has a like.
They're probably going to burn up
a recoil
lot more
system.
Battery,
they definitely do. Well, I think it's a separate battery.
Okay.
So those guns are probably really heavy, but they do make electric.
Is it just like a paperweight in there shaking around?
It literally is. It literally is like a weight in there that when the gun fires, it shakes this thing. And then, I just keep hitting this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Those are going to be much more affordable. If you drop $350 on an AEG, you're going to get something great. If you drop $350 on a GBBR, you're going to get something functional. It's all right, you know?
Yeah.
And then your modifications and attachments, you've got to keep that in mind. If you're running an EOTech on your real steel firearm, I don't recommend you put one on your airsoft gun
Those are
because it will
expensive.
get shot out. That
It
glass
will.
will break. It's
And
not
you will
meant
have
to
to
be
buy a
shot
new
by a
one.
BB. You know, I've seen people go, "Oh, this is military rated. It can handle it." The military doesn't anticipate someone shooting your optic and you living.
Surviving, yeah. Usually if someone shoots your optic out,
Yeah.
you're not making it out of that one.
So that's something to consider. There are lots of replicas, plenty of replicas
for very cheap.
For very cheap. $60 will get you a nice airsoft optic.
Yeah, I think the one that I run is like $30 on Amazon.
There's some for $20.
Now the one that I run, I
having
need to get a
issues.
new one.
Right.
Actually, I need to make sure that I do that before next weekend.
So just again, there's too many options for us to list them all. Please do some research. We're just trying to kind of inform you of what's out there.
Yeah.
So that you can know where to start looking.
And just kind of let you know that it is plausible to
do this stuff.
Yes.
If you're looking for optics and everything's like $1,000, just type in airsoft optic and it'll swap up to, you can get that on Amazon or through airsoft retailers.
Yeah.
Very easily. That's kind of everything for expenses. You just got to consider the expense of buying that stuff. Again, it's going to be, I guess like a really nice airsoft rifle you could get at a Real Steel for the same price, just not a really nice Real Steel one. Like if you bought a nice GBBR setup, you could have bought an AR.
Yeah, but if you're also getting into airsoft.
Yeah, but my point just being, it's cheaper than Real Steel
for the most part,
but it's still gonna cost some money to get something nice.
Yeah.
So that's everything to consider with the expenses. You can get replicas of everything.
Yeah.
Except for the freaking optic that you.
Oh, the OPK7. Yeah, it's the only thing we haven't been able to get.
If you, for some reason, run an OPK7 on your Real Steel, you're gonna have to get something different.
Yeah, I don't know what to
they
tell
don't make
you.
that.
They make Cobras.
Yeah, they do.
They make Cobras.
Do you want to kind of talk about game day stuff?
Yeah.
Kind of what that looks like.
So
my notes are kind of cryptic, I guess. They're like one word.
Huh. So yeah, game day. There's all kind of things that happen on game day, and realistically, if you're playing airsoft, it's typically more milsim usually, and depending on your style of play. If you're playing speedsoft, then it's more of like that, like playing it as a sport. Like you wouldn't, because you're. It's like when you're sparring in karate versus sparring or like
fighting someone.
Yeah, like sparring for like competition versus actually in a street fight.
Right.
But obviously all airsoft is that, but you're not really focused on taking that person down as much as like scoring enough points.
Right.
So it's kind of that idea. And so like the more kind of grounded you can make this, and the mindset needs to be kind of shifted to where it's like, okay, like, yes, this is a sport. Yes, I'm here to have fun, but I also want to make sure that, I'm doing the things that I need to do to be effective, like that I would do in a real situation kind of thing.
And you kind of have to go into it with a mindset of, this is not real.
Yeah.
You can't if you show up to a local airsoft field on a weekend and go, oh, this is great, I'm going to get to experience simulated combat, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But if you go into it going, okay, I know this is like a sport like paintball, there are some things I can walk away with, just have fun.
Yeah.
There is stuff you can get out of it. I will say, I don't want to skip ahead of where
You're
we're
good.
at. Yeah, we've already
been skipping around.
Yeah, so like a good example. I'd shot Real Steel before. But I had never shot in a shooting competition or done drills. I've just done stagnant range shooting. There's my target. I'm sitting at the firing range. I'm firing at my target, and then I pack up and go home. I'd never done anything dynamic, nothing moving, anything like that, where I'm having to reload. I'm having to be conscious of where my gun is, where it's pointed, my safety, all that, in the sense of like a moving dynamic scenario. But I had played a lot of Airsoft at this time. And I was like 14 years old. I went to a shooting competition out of state where we did drills and stuff. And I won first place as a 14-year-old with a bunch of ex-military guys competing, because for them, they hadn't done stuff like that in years. But for me, I was hitting reloads. I was, manipulating my weapon around cover every weekend, going to play Airsoft. So the muscle memory of I have something that is simulating my real steel setup is going to give you a little bit of an edge on your speed, on your movement, on your weapons handling.
Yeah.
You're gonna level that up in a sense of like, I guess just speed and like efficiency. I mean, that's really it. Like, for those of you who have not gone and done real steel shooting like that, like you make your time on those your time is made on the reloads and on moving from section to section. Like, yes, there's something to be said about how quick you can hit targets, because that is important. But at a certain point, when you're getting down to like being fast on a target, you're down into fractions of a second.
Yeah.
Whereas your reloads, that's like seconds of time that people eat up because they don't know what they're doing. They're fumbling around. They can't get it to seat properly. There's jams. Clearing jams, that's another thing. Your gun might, like a great example, my pistol, when we were playing Airsoft last time we went, there was a guy coming around the truck I was hiding behind. So I went prone and drew my pistol because I didn't want him to shoot me right in the face when he came around the corner. He actually swung wide, and I fired 2 shots, jammed, cleared it, fired a few more, cleared it, because it was feeding improperly.
Yeah.
That's something you have to think about if you're going to be in a real steel scenario.
Yeah.
If you have bad ammo, if you have a cheap firearm, like you need to be ready for
stuff to go wrong.
Yes. Clearing those jams, knowing how to operate that. Now, at the same time, still it's Airsoft. That's a BB. You're not working with live ammunition.
Yeah.
But it gets you into the mindset.
Yeah, indeed.
I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does. It absolutely does. And so it's a lot of it has to do with your mindset going into it. And like you said, we're there to have fun, but also understanding that there's something that you can take away from it. There's something that, this situation right here, I'm about to enter this house. I know there's someone in here. I don't know where they are. So let me slow down. Let me do this like I ought to,
Yeah, learning how to peek cover, how to clear rooms, how to have muzzle awareness and check your targets.
Yeah, check your targets.
Dude,
friendly fire happens so often out playing Airsoft, and I can only imagine if it was a live combat situation, the amount of friendlies that would be killed.
It happens all the time.
It happens
real,
all
police
the time
and military.
Yeah,
it happens
police,
all
military
the time. And for years, for forever it's happened.
Yeah.
And
it's not like in video games where if you flag your teammate, it doesn't let you shoot.
Yeah, no, like you need to learn how to identify a target versus, I don't know. It's not, you'd be surprised when you get into like the amount of scenarios where innocent people get shot because a police officer thought they had a knife and it was a phone.
Yeah.
Or they thought they had a gun and it was a vape, like that's, if you're a police officer, that is your responsibility. Like, and I know that like there's a whole lot of stuff that we are never going to understand about that realm of like you being like in a situation where you fear for your life and there is a threat to you and the others around you. There's like a certain degree of that, but at the same time, Like you signed up to be the professional to handle that, and that's really
and you have
important.
to
And
be
I
able
think
to
even as a
be that.
civilian, if you're gonna, especially if you carry, if you
Oh, yeah.
daily carry, you need to know how to identify what's a threat and what's not. You're not going to get the same, like you're not going to get negotiation skills and stuff like that in airsoft, because if you come around a corner, either that guy has a gun and he's on your team, or he has a gun and he's not on your team.
But he's definitely got a gun.
Yeah,
Either way, he's got a gun.
Yeah, and
but you just need to be able to tell if he's friendly or not.
Exactly. But there's, again, things that you can take away from it.
Yeah.
I will say, I think I've had, I don't know, I don't think I haven't had any friendly fire since we've started playing. I've been friendly fired. I haven't shot any teammates on the field.
I've aimed at teammates and maybe fired once and missed,
but not
actually hit a teammate. I definitely have been friendly fired.
It's not Halo, dude. We don't have red versus blue. Like,
yeah,
you gotta. But I think that kind of covers everything for the game day.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, we covered the training stuff too. I mean, so like,
I would say we kind of specifically talk about like the benefits of private sessions.
And so this is something that would be something that you would have to take initiative to do. I doubt that you would be able to get an entire field of airsofters together to create scenarios to practice, that stuff. But if you have a group of friends that you're like, hey, like we can't go to the range, or like you know, or whatever, or maybe you don't own guns and you're trying to get into it, trying to learn how to do it before you kind of move that over to real steel.
Or maybe you live in America in 2023 and it's a buck around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or you live in like California or New Jersey or like New York, where it's difficult to like get guns and stuff
and
like that.
Train and stuff.
And that stuff's not like super.
We said the G word too many times. I just realized.
Oh yeah, blaster.
Wait. Blaster?
Dude, I hardly know
her. Hardly know her.
Dude. Oh, it's such a good joke. It literally won't ever get old. It won't get old.
To us, not to them.
No, it won't get old to anybody.
Are
dude.
you sure?
I swear.
All right.
So yeah. I mean,
like a real world example.
Yeah.
We wanted to train our 2-man room clearing techniques.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't own a shoot house where we can go pop off some real steel rounds safely.
Yeah.
So what did we do? We grabbed some airsoft blasters. And we just went to a building that we had access to, and there was no one there. And, like we practiced room clearing without any ammunition. And
no ammo.
Like,
didn't need it. No enemies, no people to shoot.
Yeah, and so like that's the type of stuff you can do. If you own property, throw up some plywood houses.
Yeah.
Practice moving through. You don't have to have a berm. You don't have to have a facility. You don't have to pay fees. If you just have a big backyard, you can build. Dude, when we went out to some property when I was doing my like real steel drills, we literally took some 2x4s and some old tarps and built fake walls and doorways and just practiced with that. Like, you can do it. And you don't have to pay a bunch of money to do that. That's very accessible. I think that's the main takeaway.
Very accessible.
This is a very accessible means of training that is going to have some training scars, but if you are aware of those things,
and you compensate, you train accordingly. Because it's. I mean, I'm thinking about the scenario where they're running airsoft, but they don't actually have the gun yet. They're working up to that. You just kind of get used to handling it, and then
there are benefits to it.
There are absolutely benefits. So I think it's definitely important to understand the training scars. There's gonna be things that don't transfer over because it isn't the same. But
like in airsoft, you don't have to shoulder your rifle every time. But if you don't do that with real steel, you're not gonna hit anything.
Right. I mean, you might. It's just not
you're
guaranteed.
Not gonna hit what you want.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit something different.
something else
So
that you might not want
But
to hit.
again, if you play airsoft and you have the discipline to go, I'm keeping this locked in no matter what, then you start to realize, oh, my rig gets in the way. Oh, I need to shift my shoulder out more. I need to pull it in this way. Like, you're going to realize that, dude, your kit, if you're someone who has like a real steel like plate carrier for home defense, for emergencies, for whatever, and you've never run around in it or shot with it, I'm sorry, but you're just not. It's not going to work. Like, it's
never. I mean, I put it on, but I don't like.
Well,
I haven't played a day of airsoft in it.
You've got
This is
heavy
steel AR 500 steel plates. It's stopping 308.
Yeah, but it's also the heaviest.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's very heavy.
I'm not advocating that you run AR 500 steel on the field, but more so for the layout, for the setup. For example, this is a great example. I talked about it at the beginning. This specific pouch, I lost a pistol mag. Dude,
That'd be
what if
unfortunate.
it was an emergency and I was in my house and I didn't have a spare mag?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that it might fall out if I run fast, or
Yeah.
if I lay down, or if I dive or
If
dodge,
you
if I
hit
roll.
the gritty.
Yeah. So just
Sorry.
he widowy hit the gritty on the airsoft
widowy-
field.
He widowy hit the gritty. I don't know that meme. I'm just
You don't
copying
know that
you.
one? It's
Just copying you, man.
I got a good one to tell you that I don't want to say on the podcast.
Okay.
I don't want it on record.
Okay. You smart.
But yeah, learn
Yeah.
your setup. Learn how to move. Learn how to operate in your gear.
Wait, operator.
I hardly know her.
Dude, you got to introduce me first. Right?
Dude. Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
Anyways, there's a lot to be gained from airsoft training. I personally highly recommend it.
Mostly because we like playing airsoft.
Manage your expectations.
Yeah.
Know what you're getting into. I know it's hard if you're new to this, but quite honestly, I feel like we've framed it in a way that is very, this is not to, I don't know, sound braggy, but like I think this is good information.
If you're walking away from this video thinking that you'll just be able to shoot airsoft and then swap over to real steel like nothing ever happened,
you did not listen.
You didn't listen.
Yeah.
Although T-Rex Arms also has a pretty good video about, I think it's like, I don't know what country he's from, but it's like a country's like #1 airsoft, like their Navrich, basically.
Oh, I thought he was American.
Who?
T-Rex on.
No. He is, but he had this guy come in
who was an airsofter,
who had never shot real steel and had him shoot real steel, and he did well. But this is a guy who is a like he's played thousands of hours of airsoft, and he plays it in a milsim way where he's very methodical about the way
I love to see that.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
And he picked up blasters for the first time.
Dude, we're gonna get
and
shadow band. Woo!
And he literally, I think it was a few mags of like just firing real for the first time, figured out the recoil, and then was able to perform the same.
Maybe that happens.
So maybe that does happen, but again, probably about 10,000. He was probably an expert, I would say. He had been playing a long time.
And if you are an airsofter who wants to get into real steel, do not just go out and buy that stuff. Like, you need to go with someone who has experience doing that to a safe range setting, and you need to put some shots down range at a professional establishment that is going to maintain a high level of safety.
Yeah,
and
indeed.
Because there's just a lot that can go wrong. There's a lot. I have watched things go wrong.
There was something happened when we went one time,
and we just
we could have all died.
Yeah. What did we do? I don't remember what happened. I think
it was a guy.
Hey.
Yeah, it was a guy with
flagging.
a loaded gun, finger on the trigger, just flagged everybody.
Yeah.
Like trying to talk to the range master, and he's like stepping over the line, and they're like, "Don't step over that line with a loaded gun." And he's like, "Oh, I don't have to follow the rules."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with a loaded blaster.
We're already getting shadow banned for this one.
I
So.
gotta remember. We need to put hang a sign that just says blaster.
Yeah, blaster.
Dude, I hardly know her.
So, I am a big advocate of safe use of firearms. I think that you should know literally as much as you can about it before you start doing it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. There's just we're talking about a very dangerous tool.
Indeed.
That I wouldn't recommend someone use a chop saw if they
had never
seen a chop saw,
or like the big like cement
saws,
like
cable
circular
saws.
saw.
Yeah,
Man, those are scary.
Yeah, don't do that if you don't know what's going on.
I follow one of those like OSHA pages, dude.
I'll put it this way. You wouldn't let someone drive a car on the road if they didn't pass the test for their license.
Or if they had never driven a car before.
Yeah, sure, I'm sure there's someone that gets out there and just goes, I got this. Easy.
Oh, this is easy. I played Mario Kart.
Yeah, and then maybe they do well. But for the vast majority of people,
they don't.
They're not going to do well.
I had to figure out the car didn't
This was
know.
me for a whole 2 years after getting my license. Dude, I still.
You do like white knuckle grip that wheel, which to be fair, so 10 and 2 was the standard. Now they say it's like 7 and 5.
Yeah.
Because like you think about like the airbag goes off and it's pushing your arms up and off the wheel, but if you're here, it's
this
just
is my
your arms
casual.
down.
This is my casual driving. But when it gets high stress, I get here. And I still, and I know you're supposed to do this, so some people might go, yeah, I do that. But like a lot of people don't. When I change lanes, dude, I hit that blinker. Wait.
I hardly know her.
I hit the blinker, I check the mirror, and then I hit one of these. Or if it's that one, boop.
I also do, dude, because you can't see everything.
Yeah, I don't trust that. Dude, I be watching people just...
What, you think I'm out here trusting?
I used to know someone who would...
Oh.
No look, nothing.
Oh.
And then get mad if people were like... They'd be like...
Oh.
Plaguing our roads.
Taking their life and everyone else's life in their own hands.
Plaguing the roads.
Yeah, those people don't
of
need to
Georgia.
drive. Do I know this person?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You would not get along with them.
Okay, great. I probably wouldn't if that's how they drive. So manage your expectations.
Have fun.
Be safe. Don't break the law.
Yes.
Like
and subscribe.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like it. No, like and subscribe.
Really, what we need more than like and subscribe is just to know what you guys want.
Yeah.
Comment,
tell
video
us what
ideas.
What you really want.
What are your questions? If you want help finding a replica for something that you own real steel, DM us on Instagram at port_city_airsoft.
Yeah.
And we can hook you guys up with some resources. We'll have some stuff in the description, some other videos from some other content creators who kind of cover this stuff. We're on Reddit. You can check in the description for that.
Yep.
We're active in the r/airsoft. Comment really is just the big thing.
Yeah.
Let us know, because we're just making up
literally
the ideas.
We can keep doing that. Like, we're not running out.
Yeah, there's plenty to talk about.
We
But
just we don't want to talk about stuff that you guys don't care about.
Yeah.
So if it's something that like we only want to be a resource, and so if the stuff that we're putting out isn't really helpful, and there's something else that would be,
then we're wasting.
That's what we
want
to know. Exactly.
So
and by not telling us what you want, you're wasting our time. We're recording this for you.
Yeah.
So if you're like, dude, this sucks, and
But then you
not
don't. But
saying
then you
anything,
don't hit a comment with some hate speech in it. No, I'm just kidding.
to act or to not act is to act. To not speak is to speak.
Yeah.
So-
And there was. Jeez,
Just
man.
really shaming our viewers.
We love you guys.
Yeah,
we
we
really
do.
do. We really do. We love doing this. I've seen there's been comments. I've been seeing
Yeah.
the comments come in, and it warms my heart to know that
Brings a little
people
tear to my
are
eye.
getting something out of us. And there's been a lot of people commenting additional information.
Yeah,
that makes
that's
me,
great too.
dude, hey, if you go, these dummies didn't mention, then put that in the comments so that the other viewers know.
I mean,
that
maybe
that's
leave
out
out like these dummies, but I mean, if you don't, then we understand.
there.
I'm a little dumb. It's okay.
Also, we said the G word a lot, so
We
this one,
did. We're trying to-
one might get shadow banned. If you feel out of the kindness of your heart, as you should share with your friends, that would also be helpful. Our dream is to make this like a full-time gig. And really all that means is that we just need more people to see it. That's it. We're going to be getting into some other stuff. We've got more things planned in the future. Right now, content creation is the big thing, just to get our names out there.
Yep.
So if you guys like what we're doing and want to support the channel, all you got to do is comment, share. That's it. It takes, nothing to get us pushed up in the algorithm. That's really all it needs.
Yeah, indeed.
So, but definitely click through to see the rest of the resources that we have in the description, and we'll catch you guys
In the next
laser.
Catch you laser.
Yeah.
You want to go downstairs this time?